Tolerance is willing to listen and hear and even accommodate someone else's point of view, someone else's agenda, someone else's way of thinking. And that makes it very flexible for you to take in things that are against your belief system or your the way you brought up. And that makes you much flexible so you can receive new things, which will give you an outward mindset. Stay tuned and you will see more about tolerance. Tolerance is one of the virtue, and we need to be tolerant for anything that happens to us. It's different than flexibility, but it's near it. Meaning that we need to, we go into this life and we face many challenges. We face many people. We are interacting with life during our driving to work, during work, at home, in the community in general. And we need to be tolerant for others' people's opinions, only their other people's thoughts, because we are totally unique and we are different than each other. You have triplets or twins in the same household. They go to the same schools, the same cultures, everything, but they are totally different. So when you tolerate these differences, you embrace change, and that gives you strength. The power of differences is really unique. Since we know that I am unique and you, each individuals of you are unique, then we have different way of thinking. We have different styles, and that's what makes us unique. Even our thumbnail is totally different than each other since God created humanity. So you don't want everybody to be just like you. They have similar mindset. You want people to differ, and that difference makes us grow, and we can come up with different ideas because we have different way of thinking. If we are always thinking in the same manner, in the same way, we will not be able to grow. So differences make us grow and grow exponentially. So basically what we want to do in terms of tolerance is that we have a bit of mindset that is open mindset, and that you are able to agree and accept others' people's opinions, actions, and behavior. So when you are able to do that, when you are able to have an open mindset, then, only then, you are able to understand others, where they come from, and you can get more information about who they are and how they think and what they do. So you need to be really conscious and cleverly listening. If you are able to tolerate people, this will help you to become a better listener. Because, we are not good listeners. We tend to judge others before they even speak. We look at their shape, we look at their dress, what they are wearing, how they, appear, and then immediately we send vibration of judgment, and that judgment will not make us sink in with them and kind of connect in a bigger sense of connection, genuine connection. So get out from judging people. And I will ask you a question. Have you ever judged somebody in a certain way, and once you started talking to them, you realize that your judgment was totally wrong? So when you are tolerant, you tend to delay judgment. You tend to say to yourself, I want to meet that person, I want to interact with them, and only then, once I interact with them, and by asking them a question and having a nice conversation, only then I'll come up with my own judgment about them, whether they're gonna be a good teammate for me or somebody who will be inspiring me to do a better work and to achieve better reality. Therefore, it is vital for us to be aware of this. Again, awareness comes back again, and self-awareness come back again, because we are always overthinking and we have a lot of waste thought, and that doesn't help us to be consciously relating to people, listening actively. So whatever happens in terms of situation and so on, we will be able to understand the other person, where they come from, and why, and for what matter they are acting and behaving in that way. This will give you an ample time to not to just point fingers about others. And they always taught us, when you point finger, when you blame others, remember there are other 3 fingers that are pointing back to you. So don't look at the others, look at yourself from the inside and try to find out your values, I always say this, because it is really vital for you to be tolerance with others, because sometimes you can miss a lot of knowledge, a lot of attitude, skills, because you are judging the other person. You did not listen actively. You did not become aware of who they are, so you can get the information properly. What you did by not being tolerant, you block them by judging them, and you block the information and the vibrations that come with that.
How much tolerance do you have in your lives? Sincerely, when we think about all of the things that we go through on a daily basis, from the time we wake up to how many alarms we have to snooze, if you're snoozing them, how many times your kids wake you up in the middle of the night, how often you sleep well, your spouse, colleagues at work, a lot of these things that we deal with on a regular basis, we take for granted, but when you sit and think about it, how much room do you have for tolerance in your life? So now, tolerance can speak to multiple things in your personality. So in terms of when I'm faced with difficulty, how much can I tolerate? How much should I tolerate? And how much am I willing to tolerate? We have to ask ourselves these questions simply because tolerance and patience go hand in hand. And we did have an episode on patience. And it's quite important to relate the fact that patience does not mean laying down and doing absolutely nothing and accepting all things as they are all the time. There are things outside of our control, there are things within our control. So whatever you are tolerating or planning to tolerate, you need to ask yourselves, is this fair to you or not? Is this something that I can manage or not? Is this something within my control or not? So now the results of when you are more tolerant in life. For example, tolerant of someone being ignorant a little bit, someone who's not aware of what they're doing and how they're behaving, that it possibly might be hurting you. All of these things are things we should be more tolerant about. But sometimes we lack the tolerance for a number of reasons. So what does it look like in our lives if we don't practice tolerance? Well, for one, it helps you spark overreactions, right? At the end of the day, if I cannot tolerate when someone is asking me a genuine question and I burst on them, that is not tolerant behavior. If anything, it can come off as quite mean and cruel, especially if the person is genuinely wanting to know what to do. Sometimes guidance comes with tolerance. Even as a teacher, as a parent, you know this first of all. How much we tolerate, for example, when our kids are energetic, hyper, asking nonstop questions, curious, wanting to get engaged all the time, despite how we feel. These things can be tricky to manage. But truly, can you imagine having that level of tolerance with your children gives them a safe environment? So that's a result of tolerance within the home. Showing tolerance and patience with your children gives a safe environment. Showing tolerance and patience with your spouse gives them a safe space to express themselves and be more genuine with you, making the home a happier and more secure place. So many things can be impacted by the level of tolerance we show. So sometimes I need you guys to think and reflect on how much are you actually expressing tolerance in your life? What are the things you're tolerating? And how willing are you to learn the subject of tolerance? So stay tuned for the results.
I feel that as a family, for example, our parents get in a certain age and our tolerance level should accompany that accordingly. For example, when your dad or your mom gets older, they have different requirements, different needs, and you must accommodate for that to make their life easier, to be more into, paying back your dues or giving to your bank account in terms of spiritual bank account some good deeds that you do. So we know the body gets older, and when the body gets older, the needs for that body differs and changes, and what we need to do is we need to be tolerant for that. Not because my father used to be independent and now he reached a certain age, he needs me to help him out, I am not tolerating them. And that's the worst that you can do for your family. So tolerance goes a long way. Tolerance in the school, tolerance for the teachers, tolerance for our managers, our relationships, our family members as well, be it our children or be it our parents or be it our sibling. Tolerance is something that we all must embrace, because tolerance will help us connect with each other in a much better way and in a genuine way and in a more loveful way. In that way, we can be living in harmony and ready to progress and to achieve and to accomplish anything that our heart desires. So, in a way, we need to gauge our tolerance as well, because there are different type and measurement for tolerance. Because when you are with your, like, let's say, I'm the youngest child and there is siblings that are older than me, there is a certain respect in that relationship, and there is a range of tolerance with my older brother. And the same way for my older brother to the younger son or sister, there is a type of tolerance or a measurement of tolerance that we need to be aware of. And I know my boundaries in terms of tolerance. Similarly at work, when we are at work, you have a boss that is bossy, you have a boss that are democratic, you have a boss that has authoritative. So you need to understand their style and how they behave, so you can have the measure of tolerance, how much tolerance you will have with that boss or with that colleague or with that client or with that customers for that matter. So in every relationship, there is a type of tolerance and measure of tolerance that we need to be aware of. For example, when you are in the streets, you're driving your car and you see somebody who is driving their car like you are driving your car, and they're going through their destination, and I am going through my destination. But then the way they are driving, they are not thinking of the people around them, as if they are driving alone in the car by themselves in the street, nobody with them in the street. You need to tolerate, the other cars that are with you in the streets. So if somebody wants to go faster, you have to make way for them so they can go faster. Maybe they have an emergency. Don't, this is toleration. You need to tolerate for this. Some people, when they don't have toleration, they will be, aggressive against the people, but just because they are going through the speed limit and somebody is going through emergency, they're flashing their light, they want to go faster, and you are not allowing them to go faster. That's not toleration. The result of tolerance is to make you more flexible, is to make you more respectful of others' ideologies, of others' way of thinking, of others' choice of wording, choice of the way they speak, the way they have relationship, the way they live life. No matter how much you disagree with the way they think or they do or they live their life, tolerance makes you accept them as they are without any judgment. And guess what will that happen to you? You will be more flexible, they will be more flexible, and the result, they live life the way they want to live life. Most of us live life the way other people want to live life. And in our deathbed, we're gonna regret, why didn't we live the life that we want to live? So from that aspect, we need to be really careful of allowing other people to express themselves the way they are and the way how they see things happening to them. When they do this, when you do this, you are creating a world of acceptance. People can be autonomous. They can be the way they are. No rules. Not that, but no kind of controlling the way they think. And that gives them a freedom to be the way they are. And when you are the way you are not playing or you're acting or something, you come across very genuinely and authentic. And with authenticity, relationship grows. So be tolerant, because tolerance gives you a permission for others to be how they want to be and act the way they want to act. Of course, with a moderation of the boundaries of cultures and belief system of the society that we live in.